What's up, you guys? Welcome to this week's episode of the Just Saying podcast. I'm your host, Justin Martindale, and welcome to the new studio. Wow. I mean, my God, the wait is over. We are here. And our first guest in the new studio here at Alphabet City Studios is one of my favorites, an icon, a legend, if you will, an Emmy Award winner. I mean, a writer. I have them all right here. Wrote for the Oscars, my God, TV, Broadway, author of It Seems Like a Bad Idea at the Time, the worst TV shows in history, and other things I wrote. It's the one, the only, Mr. Bruce Vilanch, everyone.
Thank you. The paperback version just dropped.
Oh, we have.
I mean, it went for a year in hardcover, and then, but more people like it as an audiobook because they apparently like to hear me when they're stuck in traffic.
That's what I hear a lot about you.
They find it somehow soothing. Or it just helps pass the time.
I can't listen to audiobooks.
I only listen to them when they have personalities. I mean, my favorite was Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Okay.
Because, she talked like she it was all written in English, but she spoke it in a kind of Hungarian.
Yeah.
Ruby Rosa had enormous penis. There were no articles. All of the articles, she was like she had just learned English. And Katharine Hepburn's was great fun to listen to.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then Spencer and I went on a little fishing trip, and he caught a trout.
You're like,
smells
tell
like
us
you,
more.
Well,
happy Pride Month.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy Prideful.
Happy Prideful in these unprecedented times we live in, but we are making the most out of it. And so I'm just so glad that you took time to come here. Wait, I want to say we were talking at lunch earlier, how we met at during an Atlantis cruise, which I feel like the Atlantis cruises have been mentioned several times on this podcast.
Well, that you're a star.
Oh, well, honey, please.
You were a star. There were like three of you. I forget who the others were. I mean,
it was Daniel Leary and Sean Polofsky and myself.
Oh, stretch it out, Sean.
Yeah,
Polofsky
stretch it out.
Hysterical. Yeah.
And it was you and Patti LuPone. Hopefully, she's doing okay. I don't know how.
Patti has survived. She got sick and missed Egypt.
She did. Because that's the thing. I feel like I've talked about the Egypt cruise, and you and I were on that same cruise. It's where I met you, and we were sailing from Alexandria. No. We sailed from Rome to Alexandria.
Yeah, right. So I think we started in Rome, and then did that circle thing, and then the Aegean and the Adriatic. And
God, the Mediterranean part of it was beautiful.
Oh, man, it's fabulous.
Egypt, what a dump.
Egypt was a hot mess. It was just a hot mess. Although the one thing that everybody saw was the Sphinx, which is fabulous. That was fun to see because you really felt like, oh, now I'm here.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you just felt like you were going through a kind of bad part of Brooklyn.
Yeah. West Texas, that's
the
going to
drive
Vegas,
from
Barstow.
Alexandria to Cairo is like going through, I'm sure, West Texas, like being in a Terrence Malick movie.
Yes.
Where everybody has a keffiyeh.
Yeah. Yeah, there's tumbleweeds.
A lot of them.
A lot of bad characters. A lot of children running and screaming at you.
Camels running.
But my favorite was, I was telling Bruce at lunch, he went on stage that night to entertain all of us after we got back from, God, what was it, like a 6-hour bus ride?
The bus ride was
And mind you, in the bus, and I asked you, I was like, was I crazy? In the bus, there was a porta potty.
Yeah.
In the bus. Mm-hmm. So just sloshing around.
That's right, sloshing. And relatives of the bus driver who was selling souvenirs.
Yeah, the bus driver was would get up, leave the wheel,
pitch,
and come sell stuff. And we're like, who's driving the bus?
But the guide was hysterical. I remember the guide, and he was looking at this group, and I think the guy was a woman, and she looked at the group and she said, "Where are the women?"
Yeah. And we were a football team.
Yeah, because exactly right. We were a football team.
We're like, we're a football team.
You couldn't be gay.
Yeah, you couldn't be gay.
Still can't be gay, but that's all right.
But they're like, you play football? Hey. And me, just
I was prepared for anything because, they wouldn't let Omar Sharif back in the country after he had an affair with Barbra Streisand.
Oh, well, I mean.
You cannot do it, you fucking Jewish girl. You can't do it. You think the Jews would be upset? No,
Omar Sharif.
They were upset. Oh, my.
I remember our tour guide was like, She was like, and off to the right. That's horrible. It's not even an Egyptian accent.
Yeah,
she was
right.
like,
Why not?
Off to the right, we have the beautiful pyramids. And she would look at like some kid who was like misbehaving. She'd just scream at him. And then she'd get right back into her. We were all kind of like, what's happening?
That's right.
But he gets up on stage and Bruce goes, how about that Egypt trip? What a shithole. And we all just started laughing because we were like, we all were thinking it, but we couldn't say anything.
Cairo really it's a mess. And we're not the first people to say that.
No, not at all. Well,
Alexandria, where actually we didn't have any time at all, because we were docked there, but you could drive by and you still got the sort of the hint of what was wrote about, the Alexandria tale stories and all that. It had a certain kind of European Arabic mystique to it. Yeah. But you were out of there quick, and then on the long road to Cairo.
Oh, God. Yeah. It was
I'm
like...
sure now they're flocking to go. I mean,
really? No. Oh, God.
After these endorsements, I don't think so.
Egypt. Come visit.
Egypt.
I just remember being like, well, did that. Check it off the box. Yeah. Summertime always means freshening up my wardrobe. In Southern California, where I live, I want pieces that feel lighter and more breathable pieces that are comfortable yet stylish. That's why I keep coming back to Quince. They focus on high-quality materials that feel and look high quality. Think breathable linen and soft organic cotton. They are made with purpose and utility and at a price point that won't break the bank. It's the rare balance in the clothing world. Quince European linen pants and shirts are the perfect warm weather upgrade to add to your rotation, starting at just $34. I absolutely love how their tees are soft and easy to wear. Their lightweight cotton sweaters are my go-to for those cool outdoor summer house parties. Everything right now at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than their competition. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the brick and mortar chain stores, so you're actually paying for quality, not a bunch of middlemen. Quince also makes custom upholstered sofas, ceramic cookware, premium bedding, also at a wonderfully affordable price. It's the kind of brand you end up recommending to all your close friends. What's the Quince piece that's changed how you get dressed this summer? The linen shirt you keep reaching for, the tee that fits better than anything else you own? Elevate your summer wardrobe. Go to quince.com/sayin for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's QUINCE.com/sayin for shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sayin. Well, it is the 56th anniversary of Pride, which is kind of crazy. And I wanted to just like kind of have this interview with you because I want to talk about like, you know, the glory days. And we were talking about it at lunch. Like a lot of these kids are just kind of, they don't know. They don't.
Well, we've been through so much in 56 years since Pride started. I mean, when it started, it was a legitimate expression of identity in a world that didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And so it was a brave thing to do. And then it became it became an outlet of many corporate programs. And then AIDS happened. And I mean, all these different things throughout, it's become something different. At one point, it was just kind of an excuse to, you know, get drunk and throw up in the street and carry on and call everybody girl, you know, but, you know, cops going by, girl, hey, girl.
Yeah.
So, but now I think that the movement has matured to the point where everybody knows what it represents a good time and reminding people that we're there, that we're which is a constant activity. I mean,
it's
when they
so
ask
exhausting.
me on red carpets at gay and lesbian film festivals, why are we still doing this? I say, because we have to tell them that we are a part of the American tapestry. We're here, and we have to keep reminding them of it.
Yeah.
That we have a culture, that it isn't all just,
yeah.
That it's all of that.
We're also brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers.
I mean, they know that now. I mean, a straight friend of mine said to me, man, there's so many gay people. What happened to the mothership land?
That's what I say about straight people. God, there's so many straight people
well,
here.
we are in West Hollywood. So
yeah, yes.
There's an argument for that.
It is interesting. So what I want to know, what has changed about Pride throughout the years versus what has stayed the same?
Well, it's still, there's a parade and there is lots of dancing.
Yeah.
And lots of people getting whacked out of their minds because they can.
Yeah.
And a great feeling of fellowship, until somebody steps on somebody else. But so those are all the constants of it. I mean, I was the Grand Marsha of many pride parades in many cities over the years, especially when I was on Hollywood Squares. And I was a hot ticket. And Margaret Cho and I would be, giving the royal waves to
Just
people.
waving in your car.
Yeah, sitting on the back end of a convertible with a skid mark. We were there.
Wait, but you do that now.
I do that. Yeah, well, that's separate. That's at night at a drive-in. But that's another story. So, I mean, all those elements are constant. I think that what I loved about most of the prides was that they keep talking about the corporate takeover of them. And it never bothered me too much because that one facet of that was always a group of people from the corporation, if Walmart, workers at Walmart who were gay and identified and were out. And I thought that's important. If Pepsi-Cola is underwriting something, then all of a sudden all these people from Pepsi-Cola are in the parade, and they're making themselves known, and I thought that's very valid.
But do you think that was them being like, we are part of this corporation, and then the corporation's catching on like, oh, this is a big money maker, and then that's where it kind of...
It's an interesting question. I mean, because they would have to start without the consent of the corporation.
You're right.
And I don't know that they would want to do that because that sounds like trouble. But I think they just began to notice that A, they had all of these gay people working there, and B, this was a chance to promote themselves as good guys, especially when you have companies that are so big like Pepsi, or Coca-Cola, which is always being castigated as being unhealthy and rotting the teeth of the third world and all of that. And here's a chance for them to show, no, we're a positive organization. It's not just polar bears. We like bears.
We have bears and otters and other Zootopia characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is interesting because our pride is actually, or it will be when this comes out this past weekend. So it's actually this weekend for us.
Coming up.
A lot of people are like, what is this? What is the whole premises of a grand marshal? And what is your take on that?
Well, we can't have a rose queen. That's taken by the tournament.
Bitches.
And what is the tournament of roses? The roses fighting each other? What is that about?
I've asked myself
this question. My 2 Aunt Roses,
yeah.
I have 2 of them fighting each other to the dead.
It's like War of the Roses. I think of like knights in medieval times.
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
Going way back. War of the Roses. Yeah, right. I think that... what was our first question? I'm sorry. I'm very old and blonde.
You mentioned you were a grand marshal
Grand
numerous times.
Well, there has to be somebody who's kind of the centerpiece of the parade, who's I assume it's somebody who can give the parade publicity, but it's also the whole idea of it's a real deal. It's a real parade. It's an honorary thing, and you're showing your support for the community. So
I believe... My understanding is, they've shown up for the community.
Yeah.
They've done advocacy work.
Right.
They've done charities, nonprofits, all that kind of stuff. So, yes. So that was a question because a lot of people are like, I think people just think it's kind of like, oh, we put them on a float and they're kind of like the celebrity of the parade, which I think, yes, but I feel like there's also the understatements of just like all the other work and... having our backs.
And I think I see where you're going with this.
What do you mean? Kathy Hilton?
Well, lovely woman. But I mean, her advocacy has eluded me.
Yeah.
But sometimes just showing up is advocacy, I guess. But I don't know. But I met her 50 years ago when I was doing a show which is in my book, Bad Ideas, called the Brady Bunch Variety Hour. And we, Eve Plum, who played Jan, quit. She was a big TV movie star, didn't want to do it anymore. So we had to find a fake Jan, a new Jan. And it came down to Jerry Reichel, who got the part, and Kathy, whose last name I don't remember at the time, who was the runner-up.
Okay.
And I joked with her at the time, well, this woman will be fake Jan forever. And it was exactly the case because Jerry did not go on to have an acting career. She went on to have a life. And then Kathy became Kathy Hilton and mother of Paris, et cetera, et cetera. So, and whenever I see her, we joke, and she keeps saying to me, I dodged a bullet, didn't I?
Sure did. Because now that woman who got it is forever known as fake Jan.
So, I mean, I like her, and she's a perfectly lovely person, but I don't know, specifically, I don't know what her advocacy entails, and I can understand why people might say, well, you're just kind of caving into the reality TV
exactly.
world.
And that's where I was going.
Well, if there wasn't a Donald Trump or a Spencer Pratt, it probably would not have come up.
Yes.
But it's like, what, another one that is going to co-opt us?
Yes. I think that's the whole point of it was the Grand Marshal aspect of it is someone who's shown up, who's put in the work. And I feel like Kathy, very lovely woman. I've been to her house. She's very sweet. Yeah. But I feel like people see her as the character of like, oh, she pulled a bird cage out of her handbag and she's kind of, goofy and kind of but she's cool and she says stupid stuff. But I feel like that's where everyone was like, what? Like, we're just putting a random housewife on as the Grand Marshal, whereas you actually have these amazing housewives like a Bronwyn from, Salt Lake. You've got Heather Dubrow, and she has gay children and does a lot for Trevor Project and everything like that. She's from Orange County and also lives in Orange County. Oh. So it's like there's those people who kind of show up and get loud for us. And then it was like Kathy Hilton, and I think people were like, you know what? What's going on?
You always, having been in television and for many, many years, you never know who passed. You never know who said no. And as they go down a list, you're never exactly sure.
It's true.
That what happens, and it's not kind to bring that up, but the fact of the matter is, you'll say so-and-so was nobody's first choice, but this is what we wound up with. Mm-hmm. So I have a feeling there might be some of that. And of course, are they going without a Grand Marshal? Is that the plan?
I have no idea. I'm
available.
Yeah. Oh my God. Let's just do it. Let's just jump on the car. Like I'll pick you up and we'll just shove ourselves onto the car.
Right. Do it. I've done it. I have experience.
But I'm not saying like Kathy's like this generation's Anita Bryant or anything like that. It's not like, she's a lovely woman.
Yeah.
But I feel like people are like coming after her, and she was just like, you know what? I'm going to sit this one out. Thank you for the invitation. Cause I feel like people are so upset about everything right now. Even the lineup for the Pride, we had like the Pussycat Dolls, and there was that whole Nicole Scherzinger thing, and they canceled their tour because tickets weren't selling. And she's like, well, we still have one, the West Hollywood Out Loud Festival. And everyone's like, great. There's only 3 Pussycats instead of the 6. We don't know what's happening. So I don't know. It is what it is. Do you remember when did that start happening? When we just started having like special guests? Like, were you ever at like the Abbey when it was like a coffee shop and Madonna just walked in or anything like that?
No, I was at the Abbey when it was the Abbey and Elizabeth Taylor walked in. She loved to go to the Abbey.
I know. I remember that.
She came with Jose the hairdresser, who carried the Maltese named Sugar.
The Falcon? Or the dog?
The dog. The dog.
I was like, the Maltese Falcon?
And she would sit there under her portrait.
Yes.
Which made her look a lot like Edie Gourmet. I kind of thought, is it really you? And she just loved being there. She loved watching all the queens and carrying on. And, she was... But, I mean, Elizabeth had a history of being very friendly and very protective of her gay co-stars.
Go on.
Like Monty Clifton, Rock Hudson, and James Dean. I mean, she was there. She was an ally early on before there was such a concept.
Yeah.
And, in fact, that was part of she galvanized the AIDS movement after Rock Hudson got sick. And if it hadn't been for Elizabeth, there would be no AIDS movement. Because, as I often say, everybody takes her call. I mean, even the Pope would take her call, if only to discuss jewelry, because he had quite a collection.
Yes, he did. That's
but
so incredible.
She was. I mean, it was her here, and it was Princess Diana in England.
Yeah.
There would have been no AIDS movement over there without her.
Well, that was the big thing with Diana was she had physical contact with an AIDS patient that like everyone was like, oh God.
You can't do that. Well, it was the reign of terror. I mean, everybody was so afraid. I mean, one of the early jokes we had about it was, can you get AIDS from sitting on a toilet seat? Yes, you can. There has to be a guy sitting there already.
I want to hit you for saying that. But
Simple math.
Where's the lie? There's no lie in that.
No, exactly.
But also like
and also you had to have a sense of humor, even though the walls were falling down.
Yeah.
And people made jokes, and
people are still making jokes about it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I did want to talk about Madonna. I want to talk about the divas a little bit. Yeah. And we'll talk about the divas throughout this, but I do want to talk Madonna's coming out with her new album.
No, really, I haven't heard. She does no publicity.
At all.
No.
What do you think about Madonna right now? Do you think she's still...
I always have admired her marketing skills, and I love that she won't give up. There is something about a woman her age who's kind of like frozen herself in time.
My favorite song.
Well, yeah. But I mean, you look at Mae West did the same thing. When Mae West came back, she was trying to be the Mae West from years before. And it didn't really work for her.
Just kind of staying in that stereotype of just kind of, oh, baby, look at my big tits.
Right. And the look, the look was kind of the same. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's Madonna, and I don't know what she would become. I mean, she's been doing Madonna in various guises for quite some time. So, it's hard to say. It's not working, but let's see. I mean, she's musically, she knows what she's up to, and there's always something. There's always good music to play. I have a certain part of me remembers way back when Madonna was one of the first people to come to the community's aid because she lost so many friends and colleagues. Yeah. And she donated an entire evening at Madison Square Garden to Gay Men's Health Crisis. Wow. And got it going. And it was like, at the time, that was like $1 million donation. So it was like crazy. So whatever you say about her, there's that. And so it's difficult to just, to pile on when she does something which kind of strikes you as being inappropriate.
She has always been there. She has always been, I don't know, pushing the boundaries of.
Well, yeah, exactly right. And,
I remember,
and I like that because I like pushing those boundaries.
Yeah,
myself.
I mean that's the art, that's the camp, that's the entertainment. I remember coming home from school, and my mom was like, she's like, Justin, come in here, put your bag down. Madonna's new music video is about to come on. And I was like, oh, I mean, come on, Mom, really? And it was the Like a Prayer video. And it was like
a prayer. Oh
Black Jesus burning crosses. Really? And my mom was like,
well. And just a plain black dress.
Yeah.
And brown hair. Like,
yeah.
Wait a minute. Where's the glamour here?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I do feel like, I don't know. I got scared there for a minute when Madonna was kind of, I don't know. It was the grill and all of that, and like she got really puffy, and I was like, "Oh no, what's happening?" And I feel like now she's kind of softened it down. She's working with Grindr now.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. No, that's where because the places that she used to do her press have gone.
Yeah.
And it's all one-on-one. So
it's all one-on-one. It's all digital.
Exactly right.
I mean, hell. Yeah, she's stayed in it, like changing throughout the eras. You thought Taylor Swift had eras. Who did it first? Madonna. Madonna did it first. Well, I want to play a little game called Pride Time Machine.
Okay.
So you ready to get in the time machine with me?
Certainly. Buckle me.
Here we go. Yeah, there is a height requirement.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the
You laugh, but
but
I could not get on the Harry Potter ride at Universal.
which one? The main one, the
The
castle?
main one because the bar has to go over your head, and we couldn't close it because I was too fat. I'm thin now. I'm on the jab. But
You weren't fat. You were just a little Hufflepuff.
I had my mother called it a corporation. And we could not lock the thing, and they said, "I'm sorry, sir, you can't ride on this." This was the Universal in Florida.
Oh.
So, it may have been,
Well, if it
slow.
makes you feel any better, Maggie Smith couldn't do it either. In your mind, this is all, we're going to travel back. Ready? What was the best gay bar decade for you?
Oh my God. Well, thinking in terms of, I guess, the 70s.
Yeah.
And I always say, if you remember the 70s, you weren't there.
Wasn't there.
No. But that was Studio One began and ran for 19 years. Studio 54 began and ran for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, it was kind of exciting because it was exploding. The discos were bigger and I was young, and they were just a lot of fun. And I stopped going to them after a while, but that was when my attendance was the highest, I suppose, at that point. So if I had to think of a decade, that would be it.
The 70s for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like everybody wanted that. Yeah.
I think, I mean, younger people, don't know, or they fantasize or whatever.
Well, they have phones now and they get distracted and are now doing TikTok dances in the bars.
Exactly. What bars? I mean, you used to have to go out to meet people, and now you can order everything in. I mean, there are hookers on Amazon, I'm convinced.
Yes.
You just have to figure out the code.
Right. And that's our push for Prime Week coming up. Get your hookers today. Hookers on Amazon could be a rock band.
There was a period there where you would see stragglers. Well, there used to be in the 70s, there were people on every corner. There was, Santa Monica was gay, and Hollywood Boulevard was straight, and Selma was in between. There was,
Selma.
But you would see a lot of them, and after a while, it all died away, and you would realize, well, AIDS killed that whole thing off. But later on, they would come back, and you'd see some sad hustler on a corner, but clearly he could not afford a cell phone, because if he had, his life would change, because it would all be about hooking up online on the phone. So I always felt bad for those guys. I gave them a discount. I'm big that way.
You just punch the card. You're like, there we go. Just a hooker without a phone.
So sad.
I know.
Oh, so sad. But Numbers was a fun bar.
Yeah, I remember Numbers.
There were two different versions of it, and they finally closed it because people didn't go out to the bars to pick up even hookers. It was a hustler bar. They did it all online and on their phone.
Yeah, Numbers was the top. Was it the top floor of that where? Well, I guess it's Schmitty's is now.
Yes, with Gym Bar.
Now it's Schmitty's, right, and then that one was. I remember going up there just as a young spry twink.
I know.
And
then the Gay and Lesbian Center, which I was on the board for 22 years, rented it as a health facility.
Yeah, that's right.
For a while.
That is so
fascinating. The old Numbers became North. It was Crescent Heights and Sunset.
Oh,
now across from a Landmark and. There's a Trader Joe's, that building that went up where Schwab's used to be.
Okay. Oh, that's where Schwab's used to be?
That was where Schwab's was, yeah.
Wow. That's where, what's her name? Lana Turner was discovered, allegedly?
Allegedly. I don't think so, actually. I think it was another bar that was closer to Hollywood High School where she was going with the time.
God, that's so crazy. Well, who is, in your opinion, the most overrated and underrated gay icon?
Oh, wow.
Is that too much?
It's just so cunty.
I know.
Well, overrated is cunty. Probably I am the most overrated. There, how about that? I am a gay icon. I got a shelf of lucite to prove it. A lot of them went to the same place, and so they're all. You have to look at the engraving to see which one is this.
Yeah,
but, do benefits, you get awards.
You get the lucite.
Underrated? My God, an underrated. How can there? If you're an icon, you're already you've made it. You know, you've made the pinnacle.
Fair.
Yeah. So to parse it like that is it's kind of like, you know, all those years of writing the Oscars when they say, well, who's the least deserving Oscar winner in the
They won. Why is it least deserving?
They won, and you know, this is your opinion.
Yeah.
You don't like Miyoshi Umeki, so you're gonna knock her because, you know,
push her down the street. Is that what we're gonna do? Just push her in the street?
Well,
No.
yeah, exactly. I mean, she was the one we couldn't find. She hated Hollywood so much she moved to the Valley.
And we never heard from her again.
Basically, we had to go find her in a bar to get her on the show.
Really?
Yeah, and she cursed us for filth and said, "I'm not going back there." You know, and I just said, "Oh, Eddie Faza." I just remember saying, "Eddie Faza, you want?" I thought she was adorable, but no, she had it. She just said no. She'd had Hollywood.
Wow. But so you don't think there's an underrated gay icon, do you? We won't say overrated, because if you're icon
an
status,
underrated one. I mean, there are so many. I mean, depending on, you know, some of them are mega famous.
Yeah.
and some of them are just people I know who are in the kitchen at Angel Food every day or driving deliveries to people with AIDS, and they become iconic, I guess, but probably not by that definition. You know, so
yeah.
I don't know. It's clear you have a candidate.
No, I don't.
You don't?
I was
Oh,
just asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like mine is underrated, or my underrated person is, I don't know. I feel like I'm watching the young kids now.
Yeah.
Like the singers and the pop singers and all that, and watching them, like rooting them on and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, I suppose
I honestly don't think there's an underrated or overrated.
If they're iconic and they were in their day, but they died 40 years ago. There's Waylon Flowers, who we were talking about earlier, to whom
I
you
would
are
say underrated
related by injection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because he was brilliant and Madam was wonderful, the character, and he never was closeted. He was always out there, and died of AIDS 40 years ago. But you know, you get out of the pop culture flow and people just don't remember. But
Yeah.
he certainly was iconic.
Yes. And he's definitely one that I am trying to bring back into the knowledge of people. So,
What about John Epperson?
John
Epperson?
Well, John Epperson is Lipsinka, who is brilliant and iconic, and has chosen to step away from it for whatever reasons. But or I just haven't seen him lately, one or the other. Although I did something on Broadway last week, and he came to see it.
oh wow.
Yeah, I was in Celebrity Autobiography, which is still running at the Schubert Theater, and. I mean, yeah, I think he's underrated because he hasn't been around. You know?
Yeah.
And now, of course, there are so many drag queens. RuPaul has made drag profitable.
I mean, this is why you don't feed a drag queen after midnight.
Well, if you could be a big ass loser on RuPaul and book every gay bar in the country because you were on RuPaul. I mean, can't tell you how many people come to. I was on RuPaul 4 or 5 times as a judge, a comedy mentor. Once I was Santa Claus.
Yes.
My annual appearance as Santa Claus somewhere.
Which is the best comedy mentor
Right, yeah.
ever. Yeah.
And I still get young people who will say to me, "Oh, I know you. I saw you on RuPaul. Yeah. Well, you going to go back to RuPaul?" So I'm available.
Yeah.
Ru. So there's that. So and as a result, there are so many drag queens in the field. They don't do what Lipsinka did. Lipsinka's act was absolutely brilliant because he cobbled together a character of Lipsinka from authentic recordings of not drag queens, but Hollywood stars. You know, Dolores Gray and all these people, and would make these character tableaus out of them. So that was
Ahead of its time. Putting the dialogue into the act. Is that what you mean by that? Like how you know they would lip sync?
They all had records of Lisa Kirk live at the Persian Room.
Okay.
And he would use her dialogue and do one of her numbers and edit in another a Betty Davis line, and do them all at once. And lip syncers, the general lip syncer show started out where she was fabulous, and as the evening went on, she lost her mind on stage in front of you.
Yeah,
just utilizing clips, audio clips, and all audio clips basically, and herself. And she had many devices that she could use. There were imitation invisible telephones all around the stage, so you'd hear a ring, she'd just pick up and she'd go, "No," or whatever she was going to do is Barbara, please,
Barbara, please,
from
yes,
Mommy
yes.
Dearest. So it was a collage of all that stuff, and it was absolutely brilliant. No, and nobody else did that.
No, but I mean, I do that actually. I have one more question for you in this Pride Time machine, and then I want to pick up right where you were talking about lip synca.
Okay.
But what is your Mount Rushmore of gay icons?
Oh, wow.
That's the big thing right now. All the kids want to know what the Mount Rushmore is. And everyone's like,
I mean, it's people of a certain age will have a different one. You know? I mean, mine, Bet, Barbara, Cher, Diana, and Madonna. And, but, I mean, that's more than four on Mount Rushmore, because I go back to Betty Davis, Joan Crawford, Mae West, Katharine Hepburn, Lena Horne.
mm-hmm.
They were all, I mean, they were, and even deeper. I mean, then the ones who were like filthy, Sophie Tucker wasn't filthy, but she wasn't that kind of a diva. We turned her into one for Bet's act, but the Belle Barth, Rusty Warren, those comics, so they were all to me. But it's not a big mountain. There would be, if you only have four or five.
You know what? I feel like if there's four, I feel like there needs
Barbara,
to...
Cher, Diana are kind of like...
Barbara, Cher, Diana?
Yeah.
Diana Ross, Barbara, Cher, Diana, and Bet. Barbara, Cher, Diana, Bet. It's hard to say.
And Dolly. I can't forget Dolly. I just wrote a musical with her.
Oh, the Broadway one?
No, that's another one.
Okay.
I wrote a two-character one called Here You Come Again. Sounds like a porno, but isn't.
Yeah, it could be.
About a 40-year-old comic who's a gay comic who's working as a waiter at Caroline's in New York, and COVID hits, and his relationship breaks up, and he has to quarantine in the attic of his parents' home in Longview, Texas, where he has an intimate relationship with his imaginary friend, Dolly Parton. She steps off out of a poster. So we did it. We did it on a grant for a theater and as a Zoom, and they liked it and wanted to do a full production. So I had to call Dolly and say, "Can we have the music?" And she said, "I'm your partner now." So we did it in 5 regional theaters. We did 6 months in the UK, 6 months in Australia. During which time she said, "I have this other musical I'm writing, which is the biography, and I'm not going to renew the rights for your show because I don't want to have 2 competing shows using my catalog." And I totally understood. But here's a very Dolly thing she did. She waived all of her royalties on our show.
Wow.
Which was significant because she had the biggest piece. And I thought, well, that's a very Dolly thing to do.
Yeah.
She was saying, I don't need the money, and, you do.
Wow.
And it's, and it's always possible that it could happen. We'll see what happens with her Broadway show.
Now, when Dolly Parton calls you, what is that like?
It's, there's a certain shiver that goes through, I mean, I'm actually on the phone with an icon, but I'm old enough and been around enough of them that I know it's business, or it's friendship, or it's just kind of fun. I wrote a benefit years ago for Angela Lansbury was doing an AIDS benefit in New York, and Julie Stein was there, and we used one of his songs, and we asked if we could adjust a lyric on it that had been written by Comden and Green, and he said sure, and then he had published a memoir, and he sent me a copy of the memoir.
Mm-hmm.
And on the office page, he'd written, "To Bruce, you belong." And I thought, wow. Julie Stein, Gypsy, funny girl.
Sure.
Julie Stein. I thought that was the idea that I belong.
Yeah.
I am one of them. I'm not an interloper. I'm not
Just some kind of person on the side.
I am part of it, and I've never been so flattered in my life.
Oh, I love that.
It was amazing.
Like just that little kind of like nod of like you're special and you belong
like,
here.
Hey, you're one of us.
Goes a long way.
Yeah, one of us. You're a freak like all of us.
Yeah, seriously. That's really, really cool. So I want to go into, you were talking about Lipsinka. This is about camp.
Yeah.
This is a segment I like to call Questions About Camp.
Questions about camp.
Do you think that the art of camp has survived the internet? You think it's still around? Because the way I'm feeling about camp right now is I feel like camp was such a weird kind of like the original WTF, like what the fuck did I just see? And now I feel like everything, especially in this administration, is kind of like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's at the highest definition of camp, which I've always said is failed seriousness. And of course, this administration is full of that. Unfortunately, the things they're doing have real life consequences.
Sure.
So it's hard. But I always thought Richard Nixon was the height of camp. Because
oh, really?
The minute he would start talking, I would just start laughing because he was so serious and it was so full of shit. But
some things never change.
That to me is camp at its highest level. Camp at the pop culture level has just been absorbed into the mainstream. 40 years ago, I used to go see Charles Bush. His shows on off-Broadway, Vampire Lesbians of Sodom. And they were brilliant, and we would laugh about it and say, this would never go on Broadway. Cut to Oh, Mary, which has been running at capacity for a year. They can't kill it no matter who they put into the lead. I mean, and it's being discovered by an audience that never saw any of that stuff downtown. Yeah. They're young, they have the money, and they're discovering camp. So it's just been accepted. It's just been part of the mainstream, and I think there have always been a lot of things that were kind of campy that were not marketed that way. The Carol Burnett show.
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure. The Cher show.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they were not marketed as camp, but they were just fun.
Yeah.
But the real camp is stuff that is. That you just, I mean, some woman who's all dressed up and looks like a circus clown is kind of campy because she's failed seriousness. A drag queen, I don't think is camp. I think they're extensions. They're women in quotes, drag queens. So anyway.
What about like Divine?
Well, long gone, but I mean, Divine, she was camp. She was, of course, because she was doing an imitation of a blonde bombshell. She took the Marilyn Monroe icon and took it down through Jane Mansfield, Mamie Van Doren, Monique Van Doren, or anybody who attempted it, and came on being a great big fat girl, looking like Anita Ekberg finally actually looked in real life towards the end, and just making all of it just over the top and ridiculous. And in all of those movies, where she's not playing, where she's not Divine as a character, where she's like in Polyester, she's doing that same thing, but out of that
where
costume.
She's not in the Divine makeup, but she's just like Hairspray.
Yeah, you're right, like Hairspray.
Yeah.
It's all it's all those big breathy readings. Dexter, all of that.
Lester. I mean, Divine is like, I love that camp. I feel. Would you have a favorite campy like TV show, or like what did you like? You mentioned the Carol Burnett show. I mean, I feel like Dynasty was definitely camp. Like with well,
yeah, but it was a tongue-in-cheek soap opera. I mean, it was. I think all soap operas are, but they don't realize it because the audience that is attracted to them likes the over-the-top nature of human behavior. So, and I think that was certainly part of Dynasty. I mean, it doesn't get campier than Joan Collins and Linda Evans fighting in the swimming pool.
Well, did you see the SNL clip from maybe like a week ago where they
fall down the stairs?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Brilliant. Yeah.
So good.
Brilliant, yeah.
So good.
And it was commenting on that.
Yeah.
Now, that anybody remembers that the SNL core demographic remembers Dynasty is questionable because I talk about it. It comes up in conversation and they look at me blankly.
Wow.
What are you talking about? And I said, it's clear that they have not taken Homo 101.
Which should be taught.
And learn the steps along the way.
Well, they're taking it right now. That's what they're
This is it, baby.
This is it, baby. This is Homo 101. Title of the episode. All right.
There you go.
But I'm trying to think of some other campy moments. I mean, you clearly worked on the Brady Bunch,
the Halloween special. I mean,
the Star Wars,
the
Star Wars Christmas special.
That is height of real camp because it is failed seriousness. It is. The idea of it to do a musical special starring the Wookiees, who can't sing, dance, or cross the room without falling down. I mean, that was
a very Star Wars Christmas. Was that what?
It was a very Star Wars Christmas.
And how did that? I feel like that involved a lot of drugs.
Oh, well, everything in the 70s. We were all baked doing it, but it was.
We're gonna get Chewbacca.
I don't think George Lucas was. George started. He wanted to stir the pot. The episode 1, which we now know is episode 4.
Got it.
Was out, and he was about to start the Empire, episode 5. And of course, it's not now. Now it's episode 8 or something like that.
Yes.
I forget what it is.
My math is off.
But he wanted to stir the pot, so he had these other stories that he sold to various outlets, and then he sold CBS this one, which I think he thought they would turn into an original musical. But he I don't think was a watcher of variety TV. And so we were kind of saddled with this concept of the Wookiees and the central characters, and we had to have guest stars just to translate what the Wookiees were saying or doing.
Who were the translators of the Wookiee language?
We had Harvey Korman. Art Carney was a literal. He was an intergalactic Tupperware salesman.
Sure.
Who came to Mrs. Chewbacca. They were all going to the planet of the Wookiees, and it set up the plot. As she told him things. Oh, really? He's coming home tomorrow. That was like that. And then Harvey Korman played 3 different parts because we had things appearing on television sets. We had people going places. They stopped at a bar that was run by B. Arthur.
You know what? I think I've seen that clip. B. Arthur at the cantina.
The cantina. That we had Diane Carroll, who was the Grandpa Wookiee's sex fantasy.
What?
Yes, he put on a VR helmet, virtual reality helmet, and she appeared. Dancing for him and singing. So we had Jefferson Starship.
Let him say we're crazy.
For no reason. That, but the kid liked them. So he had like a snow globe that turned into a hologram thing. And we also had the first appearance of Cirque du Soleil, a bunch of acrobats from Cirque du Soleil. And they were also in the hologram thing that the kid had. Or it may have been in a music box that the mother had. I don't remember. But we had all of that. And we had Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford was
Carrie
there?
Fisher and Mark Hamill. And R2-D2 and C-3PO.
And
Carrie wanted to sing. She only wanted to sing.
Carrie just wanted to sing. Did she sing?
Oh, yes, she could sing.
So the whole cast was there for the Christmas special?
Yes.
Wow.
Basically the cast then, yeah. I met her when she was in the chorus of her mother's show, musical show, Irene, on Broadway. And she didn't want to do what her mother did, but she wanted to be like Joni Mitchell. And she thought it would be cool for Princess Leia to have a guitar and to sing. And I said, well, you look just like your mother in The Singing Nun.
Wow.
So I think you probably are not going for. So we cleaned up the look, and then she wanted to sing Just a Little Green, the color when the Northern Lights perform, because it's coming on Christmas. It was a holiday.
Which is not a porn, by the way.
No, Joni Mitchell's version of a Christmas song. And so we called Joni, and she said, no. She had that very high glissando voice.
No.
No, we had the same problem with B. Arthur. B. Arthur wanted to sing in the cantina. She wanted to sing the Alabama song. Oh, show me the way to the next.
The country
whiskey
group
bar.
Alabama?
The what?
Well, did you say the Alabama song?
Yeah, the Alabama song. It's Kurt Weill and Frank Zappa and the Weasels of Invention.
Oh, okay.
And the Mothers of Invention.
Okay.
They had an album called Dead Weasels or something.
And
it was on there. And Bette did it, had done it in her act at one point. And it's a very, very dark song, as you might imagine, coming from the Weimar period the cabaret period of Berlin. And we had to call the Bertolt Brecht estate, and they said, 9, which I thought was the figure they were looking for in payment. But in fact, no, that was just German for, no, we're not going to have this thing sung by a B. Arthur. Although B. Arthur had done the Threepenny Opera off-Broadway, which was a huge hit. And so they knew her, but they said, no, not in this context.
God, wow, that is so fascinating. And I feel like, going back to what you were saying, like B. Arthur being an off-Broadway, I feel like Broadway, you mentioned Oh Mary.
Yeah.
I feel like Broadway right now is at like the height of camp.
Well, I saw...
It's really reintroducing with Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
The Gays, of course. I do it for the
Gays.
Gays.
I do it for the
Gays.
Gays.
Gays. That's
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys. I just saw Cats, the Jellicle
Ball.
Which is beyond just gay. It's trans and full of that. And it's a fabulous spectacle. I mean, I was never a huge Cats fan, but
trans cats, yes,
trans cats are interesting. Interesting. They don't vogue as much as I thought they would. They do like actual Broadway dancing and a couple of ballet things.
Yeah,
but, it's pretty fabulous.
I know. I can't. I'm going up there. I think maybe in a couple of weeks, and I can't wait to see it.
It's absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
And Death Becomes Her, which is closing, but will go on tour.
Yeah, and
It's a riot.
Titanic.
My friend Marco Panett wrote it, and it's a riot.
It's so good. I saw it with the original cast. I loved
really
it.
Funny.
Titanic is one as well.
Titanic is also
yeah,
very good. I saw it downtown, and then they did a production in Chicago, which I'm gathering this was like a pilot production for Broadway.
Oh God,
because it's much bigger than it was downtown.
Oh, absolutely. They were, and I'm so excited for Ty Blue and Frankie.
Jim Parsons, who plays Rose's mother.
The funniest. I have not. They showed Rosie O'Donnell on. She was doing some comment on it because she saw it. She's like, I haven't laughed that hard at anything in my life. When Jim Parsons, I don't even want to give it away, but but when he's like that scene where he's lacing up Rose, when she's like, you have to marry Cal, and she's like, but mother, I don't know. She's like, shut up, you God. It's just like, what is happening? It's just so good, so good. All right, I want to talk about some of your time at the Oscars. Yes, you wrote for 25 years.
I did
for the Oscars, which is a good run.
Yeah, it was a blast. It's like, for the kind of stuff that I do, it's like playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If you're a football player.
Yeah.
And so you're afraid you'll screw up. That's, of course, and the whole world's watching.
Back, I mean, truly.
Especially back when I was officially working on it. Mm-hmm. Now I unofficially get involved.
Do you, was there anything that kind of stood out to you as, of course, I want to talk about like behind the scenes and the after parties and all that kind of stuff when it really was Hollywood's biggest night. You know what I mean? But was there anything that you were kind of taken aback by? Was there a celebrity that you were kind of really surprised by the most, or a funniest moment that you remember?
Oh, I've got a million funny moments.
Yeah.
The celebrity I was most surprised by was Dennis Quaid.
Really?
Because he was drunk.
Okay. While presenting.
It was my first show, actually, in '89.
Mm-hmm.
Famous for being the Rob Lowe Snow White show. Well, see, there you go. People forget. Finally, they've forgotten. 40 years later, they've forgotten.
Oh, I'm going to Google it when I get home.
He had played Jerry Lee Lewis.
Okay.
Anybody? Jerry Lee Lewis?
Jerry Lee Lewis, Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire. And he was not nominated. But many considered there was no such thing as a snub, because it's not like they all got together and said, let's not nominate Dennis. There were 5 other people. He may have been number 6. So, but we wanted him on the show because exactly right, because he had made an impact.
Mm-hmm.
And they paired him only for reasons of celebrity and Beauty with Michelle Pfeiffer, who was nominated for Dangerous Liaisons. And they were like two, young stars.
Yeah, yeah.
The memo had gone out, book young stars. Now, they had nothing in common. There was no reason for the two of them to be there, and that's always the hardest thing to write for. And I always say the show should be a banter-free zone because they should talk about the category. And so we wrote something about the category, and he was kind of loud, and he stepped all over the lines, and he was kind of like eyeing Michelle and coming. And when Bruno Mars says Michelle Pfeiffer white gold, that's what she was. She was standing there like Lot's wife. She was not playing along. She was, just kind of looking at, well, what is this guy doing? He's messing up and all that. And it was a terribly awkward moment on the thing. And I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I just wasn't expecting it. I thought, well, you always expect that somebody is going to say, if a joke doesn't land, they're going to say, I didn't write this.
Yeah. Blame it on the writers.
You get a hide. You grow a hide after a while, but I didn't expect that he would just be like, kind of go out of control. I think he was pissed off because he wasn't nominated. I don't know. I've met him once. I met him once. It was that night, actually.
Really?
Yes. And it breaks my heart because I was so horny for him.
He was
always.
hot.
Oh man, he was so hot.
So hot.
I mean, among the great hotties. And
Yeah.
I remember when Marty Short made a picture with him called Inner Space.
Yes, with Meg Ryan.
With Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
And he said, have you seen the movie? I said, yes. And all I said is, I want to be shoved up Dennis Quaid's ass, just like you were. Well,
and now
the heart knows what it wants.
It really does. And now, because of that movie, we have their son who's on The Boys, Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid.
Jack Quaid, yeah.
Yeah, Jack Quaid.
And I've met him a bunch of times, and he's terrific. He's a great guy.
Also looks exactly like them.
Yeah,
like the perfect.
Exactly. He does look like the combination.
It's weird when they look like their parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of them just buy them on Amazon. I
know, yeah.
What was there a presenter to you that was the funniest, or any other?
God, there are so many. I couldn't. Robin Williams. I mean, anything you ask him to do, he turns into a specialty act. And of course, Billy, before he was the host, when he would present, was terrific, and all of them. So, Ben Stiller would throw himself into everything. He came on once as an avatar.
I remember that.
Yeah, he came on once as Joaquin Phoenix, stoned out of his mind. Joaquin was going through that period where he was
like very method,
very Cloud Cuckoo land. And so Ben was just game. I love the ones who will take a swing wide. They'll take a big swing. They're not afraid. And it'll work or it won't work.
I know you're kind of biased on this. Do you have a favorite host who's hosted it? I mean, you mentioned some great ones.
I don't have a favorite. I mean, I love them. I love them all. I worked with Billy 8 times and Whoopi 4 times.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman was the most interesting because we'd done 2 Tony Award shows before, but this was the big thing for him, and he was unlike anybody else. But Steve Martin, I would say, of all of them, the most interesting because he is such an oddball and so brilliant, and will take wide swings. Not with characters. He didn't come out with characters, but with material. And I mean, he will come out and say, tonight we're being watched by 1 billion people, all of whom think all of us are gay. What a great opening line.
It's so good. It's true.
Because it's true. I mean, he was, and then we did it. I did it twice with Steve, and then once with Steve and Alec Baldwin, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Alec is terrific. He's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know how you ever recover from what happened, on the set, but because it's like it's a horrible stain. But he's I mean, for all the wacko things that he's accused of, he is.
Leave Hilaria out of this,
He's
okay?
a beautiful guy. Yeah, right.
She doesn't know how to say cucumber. It's hard.
That's as long as she knows what to do with one.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the old, just give it the old Dennis Quaid. Yep. What, do you have any like really core memories of like the after parties? Anything that was kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm seeing this.
Every now and again, there was one, it's not, there was a woman named Danny Jansen, who was married to a lot of famous men, not at the same time, but she was married to Buddy Greco. She was Danny Greco. She was married to David Jansen, the actor, so she was Danny Jansen. Then she was married to Hal Ashby, the director, so she was Danny Jansen. I think she settled on Danny Jansen. And she had the traditional after-Oscar party that was by invite only. But everybody who was nominated in certain categories was invited. And she had a big condo in Century City, a townhouse. And you'd walk in the door, and they would all park their Oscars on the hall table. So you'd walk in, and it was kind of like backstage where all the Oscars were going to be given out. Like, these were all the Oscars that had been given out. And I thought to myself, well, holy shit, I've arrived.
Yeah.
I've arrived. And there was a moment when I was on stage with Deborah Carr, kind of guiding her. And I thought to myself, I'm at the Oscars with Deborah Carr. I mean, that was, she was a huge movie star when I was a kid. And I'd watch this thing on TV, and I'd watch Deborah Carr, people like her, and I'd say, someday I'm going to be with them. And here I was with her.
Wow.
And it was a simple thing, but it was very exciting.
It was, well, I feel like, especially now, there's the glamour of it, but it wasn't like, and it never will be, I think, how it used to be. Like,
No,
everyone
course
got
not.
around the TV, watched the Oscars. It was like pure entertainment. You got to see all your favorite celebrities from all the movies you watched that year.
And you didn't have that many places you could see them.
Right.
There were nightly talk shows, but they were not on all of them.
They weren't on all of them. They weren't on all of them together, and they all weren't all of them like just draped in just luxury and diamonds and
relating to each other,
hair, and that's, I feel like, especially with like Joan Rivers doing the red carpets for those events, you're just kind of like, R.I.P. Happy Pride, bitch.
Well, the world changed. I mean, in 2030, it's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
ABC's contract is up, and the Academy went to YouTube, so it'll be a whole different animal.
Yeah.
And it part of the reason is what I keep reminding people is that the Oscars are the only award show that's voted on by people who actually make movies. Mm-hmm. It's not critics. It's not people at the mall. It's not waiters and valet parkers pretending to be foreign correspondents at the Golden Globes. It's not any of that stuff. It's people who actually make movies, and they tend to vote for the things they like, they admire, that they kind of wish they had made or had the chance to. And they appreciate what people went through to get these pictures made. That is not necessarily the movies that people go to the theaters in droves to see. Right. And especially since we began infantilizing the movie business with Marvel and DC and Star Wars and all of these franchises, some of which I've been a part of, that took over. And when multinational corporations bought the studios and began dealing with what the growth projections that they had to show, then that changed. And so the show was about a lot of people, many of whom nobody knew, getting awards for things that nobody had seen.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And then after Oscars So White, the controversy that said Oscars are so white, the Academy expanded and brought in all kinds of people of color, and they were no longer Hollywood-centric. Yeah. So you had movies like Parasite and 12 Years a Slave and Moonlighting and Everything Everywhere All Over Your Face, and all of those movies, which never would have won in the old days when studio pictures ruled. So that was another thing. People would say, I don't know who these people are. I don't know what these movies are. And even though they expanded the Best Picture category to as many as 10, there were still a lot of movies that people didn't know. So that was inevitably going to reduce the ratings. And my favorite statistic about that is during the COVID year, the 1 year where everything was shut down, all the theaters were shut down. And in fact, they did the show from a train station, from Union Station, because they couldn't cram people into a theater. So it got the lowest ratings ever. It got like 9 million people. And every single movie that was nominated was available for you to watch from your couch.
Yeah.
You could stream every single one of them. And still, nobody watched them. Nomadland won that year. You remember that one.
With,
Frances McDormand takes
McDormand.
a dump in a can. Yes, you remember that one. So,
I mean, Taylor's
can you
old as
name
time.
another scene from that picture?
Oh, you mean the movie where
Apologies,
she
Chloe
shits
Zhao.
in a can? That's the one.
That's the one. From Chloe Zhao, who gave us Jessie Buckley giving birth not once but twice with agonizing screams in Hamnet.
Hamnet.
Yes.
Yeah. God. It is, but I feel like, once Nicole Kidman put her foot back into that AMC ad, people were like, the theater's back. Just takes one woman to just say, go back to the theater.
They've cut that ad down a lot.
I know, and I'm so sad.
I do love when I go and it gets applause. She appears, and they all say, because it is.
Because here they are.
Together, it's like...
Because here
they
are. Oh.
It's kind of like, the Von Trapp family singers.
She's hiding. Yeah. But I want to play another little game. We're almost done here.
Okay.
I want to say thank you for being here.
Thanks for lunch.
Yeah, you're welcome. That was not a bribe at all.
No.
Not a bribe.
I was already booked. That was an extra thing.
But Justin's buying me lunch. All right, let's go. The Gay Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get a little gay.
Okay.
So we have gay icons like Judy Garland, obviously, Bette Midler, who you've worked with personally, which is still just like...
I forgot. We forgot in the Mount Rushmore, Liza probably should be up there too.
Liza. I mean, you just have a mountain of women's busts.
There you go. But anyway, I said what I said and I meant it.
Yeah, as you should. So Judy Garland, Cher, Bette Midler, and Elizabeth Taylor. Okay, so I feel like those are in the Gay Hall of Fame. How are you feeling about these newer class, maybe little older class, and do you think they belong in the Gay Hall of Fame? Just simple, opinion, yes or no. Taylor Swift?
Well, I don't think so, but
because
I think her fan base is teenage girls and women who want to be teenage girls.
I'm right here.
Yeah, I get you.
I can hear you.
So I wouldn't. I mean, she's a shrewd marketer, and more power to her. And her mother-in-law looks exactly like me. I tell people I am not Travis Kelce's mother.
I thought you were.
Well, okay.
The whole time?
Well, I thought I would like to be, except she got voted off the Traitors in the first week. So
what if you went on Traitors as Travis Kelce's mom, and they were like, "Wait, weren't you on last season?"
We're being punked.
It's me,
I
Bruce.
did reality TV. I did 20 years ago. I did Celebrity Fit Club. I don't ever have to do it again.
Oh,
man.
Couldn't even imagine. Well,
first rule of reality TV, nothing is real.
Of course not. Beyonce, Gay Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. It's her time. Yeah. Jonathan Bailey.
Well, he's gay. That's one thing.
Well, it doesn't mean he deserves a spot.
And he's managed to still be castable as a straight guy. Because in the old days, the code was, can he kiss the girl? That what they really were saying is he a cocksucker or what? Yeah, before they would cast him. And
Wait, what does that even
would
mean?
say that. They would say light in the loafer, but the clean way to say, can he kiss the girl? In other words, do they know he's a queen, and is he able to actively portray that?
Oh, can he kiss the girl, make it believable?
Yeah, right.
Make it passable.
Exactly. So,
did people know that actors?
Well, no, they didn't know, but there was always, as more people came out, I think that was the question that became.
Because here's the thing. Like, I look at, like, I feel like James Dean, you mentioned him earlier,
Yeah.
one of my favorites. Which you said Montgomery Clift, Rock Hudson, James Dean.
You're right. Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill.
What about them?
Which one would you?
That's the back of Mount Rushmore?
No. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh.
Have you heard of this game?
No.
Okay, so you can fuck one of them, marry one of them, kill one
Oh
of them.
my God.
I know. You said it earlier, and I was like, oh, I got to bring this back up. Montgomery Clift, Rock Hudson, James Dean.
What?
Which one would you? You can only fuck one, marry one, or kill one. And there's 3.
You mean I have?
This is a
I
hot
have to
game.
do something
And
for each of them?
no, just I would marry so and so, I'd kill so and so, and I would fuck so and so.
Well, one of them I already did. So, and I won't tell you which one it was or what we
You
did.
kill James Dean.
There I was by the roadside, and he found me irresistible and drove right off. No, I knew Rock Hudson, so
Okay.
I will confess to that. I knew Rock Hudson.
Wait, you
I did know Rock Hudson.
like no,
Yeah, he was a mean drunk, but
but he had a big dick.
yeah, so that's all true. It's all true. He had pool parties. It's fabulous.
Okay, so you've already done that. So now you have marry and kill.
Now I'm down to marrying and killing.
Well, I've had sex with one of them already.
Yeah. Well, the other two, I never met either of them.
Yeah.
But I mean,
If you could marry one of them, who would you have married?
I wouldn't marry either of them. I mean, no. They're not the marrying kind.
Fair enough. If you could kill one of them,
I wouldn't kill either of them. No,
oh, you're so sweet. You just have sex with Rock Hudson.
Yeah, that's
fair
it.
enough.
I mean, this is like, ugh.
It's a huge.
Who's the most overrated gay icon?
But I've always I think I would, if I had to pick, I would marry Rock Hudson. Fuck James Dean. Kill Montgomery Clift. It's personal. I don't know. That's it. That's how the game's played. But you just changed the entire format. Did it. Move on.
James Dean did not survive the car crash.
I know, but if he did.
Montgomery Clift survived the car crash. It changed his face forever, and it changed his life forever.
Made him insane, right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So it's like, yeah, it's fun, but I don't like to dwell in a negative universe. And that kind of is where it is. My mother, when she lived to 95. When her joke was, the first 90 years are easy. The second 90 are a bitch. She was in bed a lot at the toward the end, and she would watch Lifetime and Hallmark. And I said, "You just go between the two?" She said, "Yes." She said, "Hallmark is a positive universe. High-powered female executive goes to a small town in Colorado where she inherits a candle shop from her grandmother.
Yes.
Meets the town veterinarian who runs an animal rescue.
Yep.
Her choice is, do I go back to New York or do I stay here? Lifetime, there's a woman who's being stalked by her PTSD husband who came back from Iraq with a mental disorder. The babysitter is trying to fuck her husband.
Yes.
Somebody kidnaps her child. It's all negative universe.
Yeah.
She said, and it's like, one or the other. I go back and forth, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's like
So,
it's like
I
a
say,
hot.
I don't like to dwell in a negative universe.
Hot bathtub or a cold
Yeah,
plunge. You know, what do I want to get into
understand,
today?
You know, if you're bedridden and you're watching these things, you go, "Oh God, the world is full of shit. Oh God, the world is so nice."
Yeah, I hope she keeps up that candle shop. I mean, I would totally. Those are my favorite Christmas movies, like that Lifetime Christmas movies.
All the time. Yeah,
they're everything.
they are.
Okay, we have this is our final segment called "Educate the Kids."
Yes.
Who do you think is a queer pioneer that young people should know but don't?
Wow.
And honestly, this could be anybody because the kids don't know shit.
The kids don't. Yeah, I mean, they don't. I guess the late Barney Frank, who just passed, I mean, has been out of action for years, but he was the first out person in Congress that I can think of.
Okay.
Although I think he predated Tammy Baldwin, who I worked with, wrote for her.
Wow.
So I mean, those two. I mean, I don't even know if they're aware that there was somebody in Congress who's gay. Those would be two, and I think there's a Harvey Milk Day, and Harvey Milk is iconic enough that Trump wanted to took his name off an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Which was a real step and a
Yeah.
real slap when it happened. So I think they should know who Harvey was.
Yeah.
And God knows that there's a wonderful movie about him with Sean Penn, and
Mm-hmm.
they know who he is. He was married to Madonna.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's won 3 Oscars.
Yeah.
So but they could look at that movie and they would see his story in there. I'm sure there are others that are not of a political nature, but
Sure.
those are the important things. I think that they should know that the Prime Minister of the Netherlands is gay
And
has
hot.
a husband, and he's hot.
Hot.
Yeah, they might check him out. Maybe, hopefully, Anna Wintour will grab him for a cover or something,
Clothing optional.
or for a wheel of cheese, whatever she can get out of him.
Also, I wanted to ask about when I was talking about earlier, how did households, for instance, Paul Lynn, Rip Torn, all those guys, like
Rip Taylor.
Rip Taylor. What did I say? Rip Torn? No,
You said
not Rip Torn.
Rip
Rip
Torn.
Taylor. Yes.
Rip Torn.
Thank you.
Father of Angelica Torn. Who's an
Yes.
actress.
How did people go? Like they knew they were gay, right?
I will tell you.
Yes.
Because we all have gunkles. We all have confirmed bachelors in our
Okay.
family. They just didn't find the right woman. We all have those things, and that is to cover up the fact that we know that they're gay, and because we will never acknowledge it openly, because to be gay in those days was evil.
Suicide, career suicide.
Suicide, beaten up, killed off at the end of the movie, never a part of real society. You were a hairdresser, you were an interior decorator, you were some kind of a degenerate, you couldn't serve in the military, you had trouble getting jobs teaching, all of those things because gay equaled bad. And the idea of changing that narrative came later. And so at the time, people accepted that what they knew, but never kind of let on. So they could laugh at Paul Lynn because they knew somebody like him, and but they liked him, and so they didn't want to accuse him of being that. There was always a wedge of doubt that maybe he wasn't really. It just didn't know. And of course, the ones who were in roles where they had to appear normal took women as fake dates and all that kind of stuff. But that was why. And part of the mission of all of the gay activists was to change that narrative. And there's actually a book coming out right now by J. Hannah Graham and Richard Jennings, who were two of the founders of GLAAD. And it is about how GLAAD participated in changing the narrative. And I just gave them a blurb for the cover because it's a really good book.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I'll have
and
to check that out.
I wish I knew the title, and couldn't remember it. But
We'll look it up.
look it up.
Yeah, that's really, because I was always interested. I'm like, how did they not know? But everyone had a problem with it.
Even Paul joked about it. I mean, when he wasn't doing Hollywood Squares and Donnie and Marie, when I met him, he would tour and he would do his act, and he would tour, and basically he was a ringmaster. He'd bring along a bunch of other people who would do their act. And at one point in the show, toward the end, he would come out in a gold lame caftan
Okay.
with a cigarette and take questions from the audience. And inevitably, one woman, there's always a woman who would say to him, "Are you married?" And he would look at her and say, "Lady, do you live in a cave?" And it wasn't a plant. There was always some nice little person in Des Moines, wherever we were,
Who just had a
who
question.
she didn't know, and she thought, how could this man who's so funny not have a wife?
Yeah.
And it was, and of course, the rest of the audience broke the audience. I
Yeah.
mean, they screamed with laughter because everybody knew. Everybody, it was like.
So it was just, he was using his armor
Yeah, of
and the
course.
armor kept him safe in the industry.
Absolutely. But it also kept him from being he was a big star, but it kept him from being the star he wanted to be because he was a very negative character. He was the guy who wouldn't give you the loan. He was always exasperated. In Bye Bye Birdie, he does that song, Kids. And he says, I get no respect. And the kid says, I respect you, Dad. Who wants respect from a 10-year-old?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was his whole character. It was like nothing was good. And that was hard. That's hard to build a movie around. And so he never became the star he wanted to become, but he was big enough.
It's so fascinating. Oh, okay. Finally. I even have finally.
Finally.
It's
You
happened
happened
to
to
me right in front of my face.
Yeah.
Well, Bruce, thank you again for
so welcome.
being here, taking time out of your
Fabulous. It was fun. It was as fabulous as your shirt, which is pretty fabulous.
day. Thank you. It's from the Kooples.
No, it's very good. It's all different flowers and
Yeah, I was kind of giving this little
forget-me-nots.
forget-me-nots,
Yeah.
trinkets, if you will.
Forget-me-nots.
Please tell everyone the title of your book and all that
The
stuff.
book is, it seemed like a bad idea at the time.
Uh-huh.
How I Wrote the Worst Television Shows in History and a few other things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's available on audio, hardcover, and now paperback.
Which you can listen to in your car as well.
You can listen to in your car. You can
and while you're driving.
hear
the-
stories, some of which you've heard here today, but much more elaborate versions of them.
Yes,
And
and
much
do you-
more well written.
Do you have any last minute words for pride for our listeners or
I'm still available to be the Grand Marshal. I mean,
There you go.
TikTok, the clock is ticking.
we've got a couple days we can campaign still.
I've got to get my convertible outfit.
Yes, we'll throw you up there, skid mark and everything.
Pick T-shirts. I have so many to go through. I have to go to the Home for Aged T-shirts in Van Nuys, where the collection is housed.
Oh,
Yes.
glamour. Well, guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Pride Month. I want to thank Bruce Vilanch for being here. I'm so glad you guys got to stick around for the new studio. Remember to like, subscribe, comment below. We love hearing from you. And as always, we'll see you next time on the Just Saying podcast. Bye.